Joining us on the podcast today, somehow for the first time, is a man you will all know best as the 2025 ITA All-American Men's Singles Champion. Of course, he also picked up a couple of gold medals at the World University Games this summer, and this week he both qualified and won his first-round main draw match to reach the round of 16 at the Fairfield Challenger. It's our friend, Arizona senior Jay Friend, joining us here on the show. Jay, first of all, welcome to the podcast. This is long overdue. Congrats on all the success, my man. How you feeling?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm feeling great. Play tomorrow, and yeah, it's going to be a tough match, but I'm excited.
Is it a mindset shift going from a college fall as you started here over this past month to switching back to the pro circuit, or does it feel pretty similar?
Not really. I mean, my first two rounds I played college players, and to be honest, I feel a lot less nervous, to be honest, going into these tournaments. So it's been pretty smooth.
Yeah. Did you always plan to mix in some pro events with your college fall? Obviously, you participated in the All-Americans, indicative of playing here this fall. Was the plan also to always dabble in some pro events as well?
For this season, definitely because I still have the wild cards. I actually didn't even use one for this event. I just went into qualies with my own ranking. But now that I don't have to play any more college tournaments until NCAA's, I can really just focus on these challengers.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that schedule in a little bit, but let's backtrack because obviously you were able to start out your final season at Arizona with quite the bang. And from the press release released on the team website, I think it says it best. You're the first national champion in Arizona men's tennis program history. Obviously, you get the job done. A straight set win over Aiden Kim of Ohio State in the finals, but you needed some three-set success to get to that final, to start out your final year in that sort of fashion, to bring home that sort of title. I know I got to chat with you a little bit during the week, but just reflecting on it, what does that run mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. I know we talked about it a little bit, but I told you that I wasn't having the best couple weeks of practice, and yeah, leading up to the tournament was not playing my best level, and there was some doubts everywhere. But once I started the tournament, everything just kind of flowed into the next, and my level just got better and better each day. And I'm very, very happy um to be able to punch my ticket into NCAA's in the first week. It just means so much.
Can I ask if you'll allow me to pry? When you say you weren't feeling confident in your level, because obviously, again, reflecting on a summer where you won a university game gold medal that featured a bunch of good players, including a Dylan Dietrich, who you faced off against in the All-American quarterfinals, and you had a pretty good summer on the pro circuit as well. I think you made a 25K semifinal, a challenger quarterfinal at the end of August as well. What does that look like for a player when is it something in practice? Like, what were you seeing that led you to that lack of confidence, I suppose?
It was more about kind of adjusting back to Tucson.
Okay.
It takes a while for everyone, even though I've spent three years there already. It takes time, and especially with my new racket, the E Zone, it has way more pop than the Percept, and I kind of have to figure it out. I still haven't figured it out yet, but have to figure out how to kind of keep that ball in the court because it was much easier with the Percept because it's a super stiff racket, don't have to do much. But yeah, the season has so much more pop. So I wasn't practicing well in Tucson, and it is what it is. I have to get better at it. But once I flew into Tulsa and also here in Fairfield, it feels a lot better.
What led to the racket switch? Because you've never been someone who's lacked in firepower.
Yeah, the Percept does lack that firepower, so I thought that I was having to do so much. I was having to use so much effort on every shot, and especially when the conditions are slower during the end of the third set, I would find my ball not even going past the service line, and I would have to generate so much power by myself. And then once I kind of realized, okay, I'm going to spend most of the summer on clay, then I thought, like, okay, I can't use this racket on clay because I really cannot put it past the service line. And this E-Zone is one of the best rackets in the game right now. You can see nearly like everyone that uses a Yonex is using that E-Zone right now. So yeah, it's a great racket. It's a lot of pop.
I always like to joke around. An E-zone is a Babolat swing, but you still have a frame, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Where it's like you
No,
still
that's
have,
true.
yeah, you have some stiffness on the outside to work with. So I don't mind the switch. And, again, as I mentioned, first half of the tournament, you get a straight set win in round number one, but you were pushed to 3 sets in round number two. How big was that win? Just for the week more broadly, setting the tone of, okay, I can work my way back even if it goes away for a little bit.
Yeah, that guy,
Yeah.
Luis is very, very good.
Yeah.
I played him in the past. Freshman year, I played him twice. I won 6-4 in the third, and then it was like 2-0 in the third, and then it got clinched. But I knew it was gonna be battle. Um, yeah, once I got to the third set, kind of locked down, you could see that's kind of a trend in a lot of my matches. I win the first, can get a little complacent in the second, and then full on for the third. So that kind of set the tone for the rest of the tournament because I wasn't feeling great in the first round, but after that second round, it kind of everything started to come together.
What was the trickier win, Ozan or Dylan?
Oh, that's
Both
tough
great
because
matches, by the way.
yeah, I mean, I was down a break in the third against Ozan,
Yeah.
but I felt like just the level that I played against Dylan and the level that he produced as well, that was just super, super high. And there weren't many dips from both of us. So I think that was the tougher match.
Yeah, and for those who are wondering, well, why am I not asking Jay about getting that revenge after NCAAs last year? I've already asked him that question. You can go listen to that interview on YouTube now if you want to hear that answer. So I know how much that win meant for you. I am curious more broadly because I would love to hear your perspective. This year at the All-Americans, you could feel it was a little bit of a changing of the guard. And what I mean by that is obviously Michael was off doing amazing things on the Challenger Tour. Rafa is doing great things on the Challenger Tour. But then other guys who have been in the mix for a while, right? You think about a Vives and a Maxted at TCU who were part of the mix last fall. Obviously, Tarvit's not here either. It felt a little more, Colton obviously graduating and going off as he did. The field felt a little open. What'd you think of the level? Did you have that same feeling going in?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't know that Michael and Rafa weren't playing until the day before. And obviously, the tournament would have looked a little differently with those two guys playing. It did also feel pretty open when I looked at the draw. Um, I I did truly feel like one of the top dogs in that tournament going into it. So yeah, in the past years playing that tournament, I felt kind of overwhelmed looking at the names. Um, but yeah, well, obviously now I'm a senior, and yeah, that's just how I felt.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. And you mentioned it, and I want to talk about this genesis here on today's show. But, your freshman year by that NCAAs and that match versus Ohio State, it's on my list of one of my favorite matches I've gotten to watch in the last half decade. You're playing for five for that team. The next year, you finish the season up at the number 2 spot. Again, fantastic season. You guys make the round of 16 to face Columbia. Last year, this year, are the expectations different? Like, especially for this senior year, in what ways does it feel different than maybe those earlier seasons?
Well, yeah, but the thing is, we say this every year, is
Okay.
that we want to get past the Sweet 16,
Okay.
and that is obviously going to be the expectation this year to make the Elite Eight. And I also say this every single year, we have the team to do it. But you can see, like, if you are looking at the results of the guys on our team throughout the summer, like you got Zoran who won a future, and you got um Sasha like beating guys like Hyung Chung. You got guys making semis and quarters, which is not something that like our guys have done in the past in the summers. So we're confident. We got a lot of work on, and right now the goal is to get a couple more guys into the NCAA tournament through regionals or conference masters or whatever. So that's the main goal now for them.
For you personally, and you alluded to this, like I kind of felt like I could be one of the guys at the start of that All American Championship. I mean, I like to think every tennis player needs this sort of confidence. So please don't feel arrogant in answering this question. Do you think you're the best player in college tennis this season?
I think Clancy will kill me if I say no. So, okay, let me put it out there and say, yeah, let's go for
I
it.
guess let me put it this way. Do you think you need to have that confidence for you guys to go where you need to go? Like, is that part of the equation and part of your thinking? Like, I want to be that for my team.
Yeah, definitely. Confidence is the key. For all the all the guys who want to be a top dog, and that's what I want to be. And especially now with such a young team, I need to show them that yeah, I'm confident in my abilities, and you guys should be too. So just kind of being a leader for the team in that sense.
What is practice like at Arizona? I've gotten glimpses of it, but give me your experience. I want to hear from you. Just what are the expectations for this group? How do you go about building what obviously the energy that we all see every time you guys are out on court?
Yeah, well, this year it's something that we need to get back and work on
Okay.
because the years that I'm used to, my freshman year, getting screamed at by Nick Lagaev and Herman Hoyerell, I mean, just it was traumatizing, but it actually built me into the player I am. So over the past few years, it's been like that, just battles with Casper on the court with his showboating and everything. It's been that's how it has been, and that's why it's super fun for me to practice and so enjoyable. So that we need to get back on that this year. That's what I'm gonna bring it back this year.
Is that something? I mean, the answer is obviously yes. I guess how does Clancy go about encouraging that? Because you are playing with fire there, and yet, like, is that something all the guys? How does the understanding come amongst the guys where it's hey, like, this is how we get better. Don't take this shit personally.
Yeah. Well, for me, sometimes I get way too over the top with it, and then it ruins my focus, and then
Okay.
Clancy gets on me about that. But yeah, definitely you have to have some of it at least. Like especially for some players who are feeling a little nervous or whatever, they got to let something out or feeling timid on the court, they got to have fun. So that's what he tries to encourage it and yeah, we just got to keep doing it.
What was that first practice like for you? That first year, again, you walk onto a team that had some established people, not just Herman and Nick, as you mentioned, but Gustav obviously was the original Gustav was winning all of those matches and just rock solid. What was it like for you to join that group? What was the adjustment process like for you to college tennis?
Well, I actually remember my first practice. It was well, the captain's practices, how you
Sure.
the coaches can't practice with the team straight away. It was an hour and a half of team singles with Herman, Nick, and I don't know what another player, but just the energy that Herman was bringing was just holy. Like I got to match this every day, and Nick screaming at me when I double fall. It's just yeah, it was super fun, super memorable. I can't believe I actually remember that.
I'm sure there's a little trauma in there as
Yeah.
well. And just like, was it the level? It sounds like it was more the energy, but just was that what you expected entering college tennis? Is that why you signed? Like when again, I like to think he's a very much this is who I am, that sort of person, candid like that. Did you know that's what you were joining? Like, is that what did you expect from college tennis?
Um. Yeah, I expected to find a brotherhood and a family, and I did. But on the tennis side, yeah, I expected high level because I was watching all their matches before I came. Um, and that's what I found. But the thing that I was most surprised about is how much better they are at doubles than junior players. Because like I won around I think 8 or 7 or 8 ITF junior titles, and then in my first full, I couldn't win a single match because everyone was just like I was playing regionals with Dominique Rowland, who just
Yeah.
beat Tyler Zink today. I watched that. And then we lost like 8-3 to UCSD's number 3 team. And then I play with Colton and then we lose to Cal Poly's 3 team. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like what am I doing here?
Yeah, no, I can only imagine. In that respect, it's a technical question, but in your mind, is doubles more about tactical execution or attitude?
I think it's about attitude, energy, but also just being calm because in my first fall, I was so nervous to play because I don't know why, but I just was. So if you're calm in the big moments, then things will most likely go your way.
Yeah. Do you like? I guess the tennis wasn't that different. You think that first month was it just people being on top of it, and you just weren't ready for that? I suppose.
Well, yeah, in the juniors you kick serve and then you stay back and then you grind cross court. Like you don't have that. It's coaches like you got to get to the net, serve and volley
Sure.
every point, chip and charge, whatever. So it's just way faster than it was in the
Yeah.
juniors.
Well, then I'm curious, tennis wise, what do you think's the thing you've improved upon most in college?
Definitely my serve and my backhand. I remember my backhand was such a hole when I came to college. I was like swinging over like this every time. But to be honest, the backhand only clicked like a month ago. So it's been a while. Just I've gone through so many different techniques. The serve as well. I mean, the serve has gone through so much. Like every year, I'm looking through videos of the serves that Clancy and I have worked on, and it's just every year is so different. But finally, I think I've kind of locked down on the technique that I want.
When did you build that trust with Clancy to when he says, I want to change this part of your technique? You go, okay, I'll try it.
Well, it was in freshman year
Okay.
because, to be honest, I was on the cusp of playing, not playing, and then you get that feeling like, okay, this is the head coach. You're gonna do what you ask so you can play. That's like my mentality. So everything he wanted to change, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Like I want to play. Like I'm gonna do it. And to be honest, after a couple months, sure, it wasn't working out in the start, but after a couple months, I started to see the improvements, and then from then, whatever he says goes. And obviously, if I don't agree with it, I will tell him. But most
Sure.
of what he says is really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, that's half the fun. Like those
Yeah.
disagreements and working those things out from there. And obviously, the success that you've had over the course of every season speaks to that. I'm sure you got asked it a million times last year, but maybe now 5 months since you've been asked the question, you won't have a resentment when answering. What was it like watching Colton last year? Like, now that you didn't have your own success, and I want to talk about that as well, because certainly it was noticeable all season long. But just to know, like, all right, this guy's top 150 in the world, and we have him as our number one and in practice every day. What was it like to see it and get to practice with it?
Yeah. It just, the whole team and I, we love him so much. And we were just so proud of everything that he was able to do while being at school. And just watching him, I was his roommate, and just watching him play, sure, like, oh no, Colton's not home. He can't cook for us. Let's Uber Eats. But it was just super, we were super happy to see him get the success that he really deserved. And just practicing with him every day, like, you don't want to be that guy that gives the guy that's 150 in the world a bad practice, you know? So everyone that hits with him is just way more dialed. And it brought out the best in all of us.
Have you gotten the hunting and/or fishing invite?
I have. I've been to his place a couple times. I spent Thanksgiving there last year. Um, we went fishing. Haven't been hunting yet. I don't know if I'm ready for that, to be honest. That's more his stuff. But fishing, definitely. I'm yet to catch a fish. Actually, no, I did snag a tiny one on a foul hook, but I'll take it. It's really nice up there in his place.
No, I agree. I'm fishing. You can throw the fish back.
Yeah.
Hunting, you can't unshoot what you shot. So I'm with you. Fishing would be enough for me, but no, I mean again, in to have the success you did all season long. One, playing in the number two spot, knowing like, okay, well Jay's playing two, so we think for sure he's going to win every time, and just about every time delivering as you did, being asked to step into that one spot when Colton was off, having his pro success. What was that like for you last season? How did your confidence grow in that role?
Yeah, it was quite tough actually having that pressure every single match. Is like you gotta win, you gotta win. But I liked it because it just forced me to bring out the best of myself, and I'm usually able to do it when the pressure's high. But that was for the first half of the season. Once we got to the second half of the season, like I started having the yips on the foreign return. Oh my gosh, like I couldn't make one. So I was chipping like in doubles, singles, doubles. So that's when like the pressure started getting more and more. I'm like, oh shit, shoot, how can I win this match that I need to win without a foreign return? And that was kind of what was bugging me for the rest of the semester. But hey, I was able to grind out a few matches that I was on the brink of losing. But yeah, it was pretty tough, not gonna lie.
To win Big 12 tournament year one in the conference, what did that mean to that group? And in particular, to put a trophy in the trophy case. Not that you guys hadn't had Pac 12 success before, but just to really symbolize, like, hey, this is who we are now. What did that mean to that group?
I mean, it meant so much. I mean, the best time of my life is when we won the Pac-12 tournament in Ojai. It was just it was the best night of my life. But yeah, fast forward a year to win the Big 12 tournament first year, just really proud of the guys and the team. But yeah, the tournament, to be honest, we were just super, super happy to beat UCF. But I think we cared more about beating UCF than getting that title.
How real did that rivalry feel last season?
I mean, it got to a point where it was just pure hatred. We were so sick of it. I mean, to lose two 4-3s, one on your own on our home courts to not qualify for indoors, and then me going down 6-7 in the third to get clinched. Oh my gosh, like we wanted it so bad. And then once we lost that doubles point, we're oh my gosh, not again.
Yeah. No, it's a credit to you guys to battle back as you did. I guess in a way, like again, you use that word hatred. Is that a hatred of respect where it's like we know we're going to get these guys best? I guess do you like those matches where you know you're going to get someone as feisty as a UCF versus the alternative? Like I guess are those the ones for you personally you suit up for?
Let me think about that one. Yeah, obviously when I say hatred, it's not
Yeah.
real
No, of course,
hatred.
of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely more fun to play teams that really give their best shot. Like it's not fun to play against these guys who just like throw in the towel after a few games if it's not there. But just having these 4-3 battles just gets the heart racing and it's just super fun in the moment. But if obviously if you lose, it's not. But some of my best memories ever have been the 4-3 clinches that go our way.
How do those, again, because you're always going to feel pre-match nerves. Those compare to now you're out on the pro circuit and you're playing challengers here this week and challenger qualies or university games, whatever it may be. Is it the same sorts of pressure? Do you feel prepared for it, having gone through what you've gone through at Arizona?
Well, I can't speak on because I've started meditating
Okay.
before my matches over the summer. So, and I've kind of found a way to not get those nerves up during the matches. So I can't
I
speak on.
I apologize for interrupting. Talk to me about that. When did that decision come? How did you get to that choice?
Oh, yeah. So basically, I was playing the Challenger in Greece. And for some reason, I was just super, super nervous right the day before the match. It was because things weren't really feeling great in practice, and I knew that if I wasn't feeling great, it would be tough to beat the guy who was the top seed. And then just kind of talked to Clancy a bit about what I should do, and then we're like, oh shoot, maybe meditate, whatever. And then I found this video on YouTube. It was like a confidence boosting meditation, and then ever since I started doing that, I just don't feel nervous walking onto the court. I don't feel nervous on the big points. I also incorporate it during the changeovers, and it's really helped me a lot. So I'm gonna try and build that into my pregame routine during the spring and see if that really does work or if it's just the college stuff is too much.
No, it's the best of both worlds. That's so fascinating to hear, and I'm glad you have found success through that. Another thing you have always been successful with, and I should have mentioned this at the start again, first team academic All-American last year. And for those curious, well, what is he there to play tennis? Is he there to play school? What is it? It's an economics major, folks, for those of you at home. That's about as tough as it gets. How important is that school aspect as you approach your final year? I know we talked about this a little bit, but it's a full year curriculum, right? To have to balance Fairfield Challenger qualies with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm a perfectionist in all aspects of my life and getting good grades is one of them. Like I've been telling myself, okay, I'm gonna focus more on tennis this year, but then I still find myself like doing the extra work to get the good grades. So it's something that I just can't let go if I get a bad grade. I really, really don't like it. And luckily I've had guys in my corner like Iñaki last year, we were taking the same courses and he was my roommate, so he would like force me to go to the library with him and force me to study and it really helped me a lot. I took all the same classes he did, so I owe most of that award to him.
I like it. He can keep the certificate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works for me. No, that's awesome. And obviously, with all the success that you've had, you had the opportunity to represent Japan at the World University Games. And I know I asked you about this before, but I do want to mention it again because I think it's a fascinating event. For those that don't know about it, talk to us about what that was and to bring home. Correct me if I'm wrong. Not one, but two gold medals at the event. Three. What was the third? Mixed, men's singles,
And the team
oh, and
overall.
the team, duh, that's the one I missed. What did it mean to have the chance to represent your country like that?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't know that the event really existed up
Okay,
until a year prior. And then once I got the invite, I was just overjoyed that I could represent Japan. It's my first time ever. And then seriously, like once I got that call up, that was 100% my goal. Like everything I was gonna do in the summer was to lead up to that event. And just for it to go the way it did, it was the best week of my life, and I'm just overjoyed that I was able to bring home 3 medals for Japan.
does your success there a lot like Davis Cup February? We see every year college players go off and play. Is there a world where you're often playing Davis Cup or at least part of the team here coming up?
Well, you know how strong
Yeah,
the Japanese players are. There, I think, like 5 or 6 guys in the top 200. So it's super competitive. It does help me put myself in that conversation a little bit more, but there's still number one priority for them is ATP ranking.
sure.
And that's what I'm gonna have to focus on once
Yeah.
I'm out of school.
I guess, but you alluded to it there. Is your name now on a list where it's like, okay, like, is it ranked high enough? We're not sure, but let's check his ranking to make sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess
That's
you haven't got. Yeah.
I have to ask around and see if that's done anything, but I would say it definitely helps.
Yeah, I would hope so. Certainly deservingly so. And again, to get the chance to represent your country has to be the coolest thing in the world. But now you've got one more year at Arizona, and you said it already. Quarterfinals is not only the hope, it's the goal for this group. A group that, look, you lose someone like Colton and regardless of anything else that's happening on the roster, that feels notable. And yet, this is a team that brings back a lot of pieces. A team that had to play plenty of last season without Colton and still found themselves in the mix all year long. Talk to me about this group, your final season, and what you hope to accomplish here in your fourth year.
Yeah, the group of guys, really, really nice guys down to the core. We got 3 newcomers, 2 freshmen that, I mean, one of their guys was 20, Alejo was 25 in the world, junior. Pep finaled a future. Baran played one at Georgia State. Like I played him last year. It was a great match. So we just have like a really strong, solid team throughout. So I have no idea who's gonna be playing. I don't think the coaches know. I think no one knows. It's just gonna be depend on how the full goes, really. But once we figure out the lineup and all that stuff, I think our number one thing is doubles because last year so many matches didn't go our way just because we lost that doubles match, which was actually pretty much the majority because we had Colton out and then he would come in without playing practicing any doubles and put him in with a couple other doubles partners, and then it was never really a lock for us. So that's if we want to go and achieve our goals this season, that's going to be our priority.
No, I love to hear that. Quick history run through history with you because I have you on the show for the first time, and this is what we do here at Cracked Rackets. I get to ask things about matches that I've enjoyed over the years. We'll start with a fun one. Texas National Indoors 2024. You guys upset the Longhorns in that round of 16 match. My younger brother was at that match. I think I've told this story on the podcast before, but he called me immediately afterwards. I go, "What's up, Nick?" And he goes, "Alex, like, I don't know why we don't talk about Jay Friend to start all of our conversations. Like, I got to just see this buzzsaw in person. Why was it in your mind that you think Nicholas called me? Like, what do you remember about that match? What was that like? Because that was obviously a huge moment for the program."
Yeah. I mean, freshman, sophomore me was just crazy on court. Like looking back at those matches, like I would get into fights with well, not fights, but verbal fights.
Yeah.
I remember playing against Georgia my freshman year, and then like I'm talking some smack, and then he actually throws a bull at me, and I'm like, "Hey, ref, ref!" And that was one of the funniest moments. But that kind of carried on to sophomore year, and I knew that Micah is just such a good player that I need to rattle him somehow. And I mean, I was up a set in a break playing Unreal and just screaming and getting in his face, and he's talking smack too. I think I remember you were saying like Micah never gets chippy, but Jay Friends, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then after that, like I was like, oh shoot, am I gonna beat this guy? He's two in the country, and then sophomore me, yeah, the nerves took control, and then from then on, I think I lost 6-1 or 6-2 in the third.
Yeah. Energy, though, of that match, because your team ended up winning. Like, was that
Yeah.
a big belief moment in the program? Is that one that still gets talked about?
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember us drawing Texas for like, oh shoot. But then, I mean, I think we won five first sets and
Yeah.
doubles, and we're like, oh shoot, are we actually racing to the finish line right now? And then Colden and I, yeah, we fall down in the third, both of us. But then everyone else on the team, they got our backs, and Herm to clinch it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. That was one of the craziest moments of my college career.
Yeah, just a delightful match for those of us in college tennis that were fortunate enough to get to enjoy it. All right, this is the not fun one, but it'll motivate you, perhaps going into your quarterfinal bout with Michael Moe tomorrow. Got to piss you off just enough to bring out your
Oh no.
best. See, I talked to Clancy before this. Round of 16s, Ohio State, Columbia, or of course this past season where you guys played another fantastic battle against Virginia. You could replay any one of those three. Which do you pick and why?
Well, this is a tough one because if I had won my match, it was a guaranteed win against Columbia. But if I had won my match in Virginia, Casper was down 6-5 in the third break. Um, I'm gonna have to say Columbia because I thought no, you know what? No. I'm gonna say Virginia because I had match points in the second that if I got that one, it would have helped the team a lot more. But I've learned so much from that match, and that's actually some things. Yeah, I played other matches this after that, and just going back to that match and saying, "Hey, I did this wrong here," and then it's helped me so much. So personally, yeah, I would definitely take Virginia again.
You have to go through those matches to get to the fun ones, to have moments like you guys have obviously had so frequently over the course of your time at Arizona. And yeah, again, it's watching your guys compete. I think for me, that's the part that makes it so joyful. All of those matches, and again, you guys were unfortunately forced to go on the road in all of those, and they were always circled as the must-watch matches of the weekend. And certainly watching this group rise has been a joy. If there's one thing you think people are sleeping on about this group, there's just one thing you want us to know as we head into another spring about the 2026 Arizona Wildcats. What should we know about this group? What gets you most excited about this final season on the job?
About this group.
It's early,
Well,
so you may not
actually,
know this group yet.
no, I do. But the thing is, you brought it up, Philip Gustafson.
Yeah.
I can't believe you called him the next Colton. But he's got so much upside. So I'm surprised that you see it because we see it in our team, but from the outside we wouldn't maybe have thought that you would see it. But yeah, there's watch out for him. Watch out for him. Yeah.
Look, I pride myself a scholar of Arizona tennis. Part of it is I call all the Big 12 matches now, and you guys are Big
Oh
12,
yeah.
so I get to call a lot of your play. And I like this group. I always enjoyed this group, and certainly, again, I got to be there in 2021, which was the first round of 16, and again, that's when Gustav Strom was a freshman. That's
Mm.
how far back now we go. So certainly, I feel old with you being in your senior year now, but very much looking forward to watching it unfold, and obviously looking forward to watching the matchup against Michael Moe tomorrow. You know him at all? Okay, were you an IMG guy growing up?
No, no, no. But
Okay.
obviously, you know his name. Like I know his
Yeah.
name.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
was
One
up
of
there.
those. Yeah, he's one of those guys from the last 10 years who certainly has been around and former top 100 player. So good luck to you, my friend. Obviously looking forward to that. Congratulations. Oh, by the way, I guess I asked you this in the moment. Have you ever experienced relief, like knowing that you clinched your spot in the NCAA tournament, first tournament of the year back to back? Like on the relief rating, that's got to be in the top five.
It is so much relief because grinding out, what's it, 6 matches in regionals? No, no, thank you.
Well, again, well deserved skipping of regionals for you, my friend, and wishing you luck this week. Jay, friend, always great to get the chance to chat. Appreciate you coming on the show, and I promise this was long overdue. It will not be the last appearance. Appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank you so much, Alex.